Hey guys, Comic Boom here to review Superman number 2. Take a look at this beautiful Adam Hughes cover. Superman really is faster than a speeding bullet. Beautiful cover there. Wow, I had to pick that up. It's been a while since I've seen Adam Hughes consistently do some covers, so it's nice to see him back. I hope he regularly does some Superman covers or other covers in the DC Universe. Great stuff. This is the standard cover. It's also pretty good. This story so far, obviously, Bendis continues from last issue where we ended with the entire planet Earth being transported into the Phantom Zone. Now, what's interesting is that the Man of Steel series ended with Supergirl and Superman battling Rogol Zaar, and it ended with Supergirl transporting Rogol Zaar into the Phantom Zone. And what's interesting is at the end of issue 1, somehow the entire planet Earth ends up in the Phantom Zone, and that's kind of a huge mystery because, you know, I'm aware of Superman history, and I'm not aware of a Phantom Zone projector that's capable of transporting an entire planet into the Phantom Zone. And as it turns out, neither is Superman. He didn't know that either. This issue. The art is beautiful. The art is beautiful. I got to give full credit here to Ivan Reis. Does a really good job on the art, and Sinclair on the covers again. Good stuff all around. We learned a little bit more about Rogol Zaar. Apparently, sometime in the past, he was fighting for the Thanagarian army against the forces of Tamaran and the King of Tamaran at the beginning of this issue. In a flashback, the minute he sees his forces, Tamaranian forces, up against the Thanagarians, and he sees that Rogol Zaar is leading the pack, he immediately orders a retreat. So Rogol Zaar, it appears, has always had a reputation as being an incredibly heartless and powerful fighter and warrior. So that's interesting. But really, that's where the revelations basically end. We don't discover anything new beyond that. We don't discover why the Earth is transported into the Phantom Zone. What we really do is we're treated to Superman's thoughts. And we get more of an insight into Bendis' view of Superman, and Superman really looks through Superman's thoughts. It becomes quite clear that Bendis wants to show the audience how his interpretation of Superman views the world, and that is Superman's very impressed with the world. He's very impressed with. He's very upset with the ignorance of the world, but he understands the world and he accepts it. He accepts the Earth for all its flaws. He accepts the fact that we're ignorant people at times, but because he sees us at our best and he sees us at our worst, and he's impressed by the fact that while his super senses allow him to see all kinds of emergencies all the time, the reality is that he also sees a lot of us helping ourselves and helping each other, and how the human race is very giving and helping, and that ultimately that's our saving grace. And he's thinking that all the while looking at the harsh reality that the effects of the Phantom Zone on the Earth, now that the Earth's in the Phantom Zone, it's starting to mess with the physics and the physical laws, and nobody really knows what the consequences are going to be. And this leads into some sort of choppy dialogue by Bendis. Bendis still doesn't have a handle on the voices. He writes, for example, he writes Barry Allen like Peter Parker. I mean, you'd think Peter Parker was talking the way Barry Allen talks. He doesn't quite get the humor. The dialogue just seems off, which I find very interesting. I would not have thought that, even at 17 years being at Marvel, I guess I just would have thought Bendis would have had a better handle on the dialogue of the DC heroes, but he really doesn't. It's really surprising to me. And I don't even say that as an insult. It's just an observation that I guess it does matter, that sort of exposure to the characters over time. Barry Allen's voice is definitely off. Batman talks... Some of the dialogue here is just sort of... it's some of the things. I mean, Batman at one point, you know... takes it upon himself to tell Superman that he's feeling woozy and he's got a stomach ache, and he does that through the telepathic link between him and Martian Manhunter, and it's just off. It really doesn't work, but it's kind of comical in a way. You guys got to read it yourself to get that dialogue. I'm not going to harp on it. I think Bendis is really trying to find his footing here. I think that's going to have to. He's just going to have to read some more to get a handle on the dialogue, because he doesn't really get the the voice of the characters of the Justice League he still doesn't have a handle on. A couple of little calls to the past. Bendis brought back the Nuclear Man from Superman 4, and Rogol Zaar battles the Nuclear Man and kills him in the Phantom Zone, and the caption reads that the Rogol Zaar really enjoyed killing him. And I think that sort of was a little bit meta speaking outside the comic, because I enjoyed watching Nuclear Man getting killed too, because that was an awful character from Superman 4, if you guys recall. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, good, don't worry, because I'm not going to tell you to go watch Superman 4. I wouldn't do that to you. As much as I love Christopher Reeve, that was a stinker of a movie. If you're going to watch Christopher Reeve, it's Superman 1 and 2, and stop there. Okay. Guys, this is all right, but you know, again, Bendis is building a slow narrative here, and because this is a slow narrative, and this is in conjunction with what's happening in Action Comics, it's also in conjunction with what's happening in Supergirl. Supergirl's written by Mark Andreyko, and that is a slow build of a story too. I have a feeling that we're going to be really building toward 24 to 36 issues before we get any sort of meaningful completed story arcs of any kind here, and I'm just going by Bendis's past work at Marvel, but hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we'll get a little more character revelation quicker and faster than what it's been coming out. I realize this is just issue 2, but it really isn't, because he's writing Action Comics, he's writing Superman, and now Supergirl's on a quest to find the secrets of Rogol Zaar, and that's like 3 comic books coming out, what is that, every 2 weeks? And so really, when you think about it, we should be getting more information a little bit quicker here in conjunction with the very good art. But we'll see, guys. Tell me what you think of Superman 2, and until next time, Comic Boom out.